This is my top 10 villain list, and again, this is my opinion. It doesn't really match up to what I guess Hollywood would say, but these are people that stuck out in my head as a kid, as an adult, that really were like, damn, these guys are bad. And one of them is definitely questionable, but he was awesome. So anyway, here we go. At number 10, we have Al Capone from The Untouchables.
What do I look like to you, huh? Do something. Do something. Order.
In my mind, this was one of Robert De Niro's most amazing performances. I just loved his Al Capone. This guy was so freaking evil. It was amazing. It was so good. Oh, the bat scene. I love it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
De Niro was so ruthless as Capone. It just fit perfectly. And that baseball bat scene, I had to watch that clip 6 times. It was so brutal. But awesome movie, great actor, perfect villain. At number 9, we have the evil Terminator.
You can't do that.
Oh man, the original Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, back from '84. Like, this guy was giving me nightmares. He's so freaking evil.
I'll be back.
Dude, I still sometimes like this guy will like you watch this and it'll just freak you out. Like when I saw it in the '80s, I was just like, this robot machine is out to kill me. He's everywhere. He's ruthless. He doesn't care. He's going to murder me. And then they made the change and made Arnold the good guy. At number 8, we have one of my personal favorites from the Justified show, Boyd Crowder.
Should I give you 15 reasons in the mag and one in the chamber?
Dude, Boyd Crowder is just one of my all-time favorite villains. He's so freaking, like, one-liners galore, and they always get under Raylan's skin, and he's one of those guys that's super smart, but you can't trust him, and Walter Goggins was perfect.
What are you packing?
You'll pay to find that out.
Oh, you got ice cold water running through your veins.
He's just brutal, and he's so sly with the one-lines. I mean, I didn't like where he came from, being, this ridiculous Southern supremacist guy. That wasn't my thing, but he goes to jail. He finds, I guess he finds religion, and then he comes out, and he's just, like, the Messiah, and all these people follow him, and he's got, like, a flock of people, and then he moves in with his sister-in-law, Ava, and it's just such a good character, and to see him come back in the new show at the end, it was perfect. At number 7, we have the Kingpin from Daredevil, Hawkeye, and the Eco series on Disney Plus and Netflix.
This city isn't a caterpillar. It doesn't spin a cocoon and wake up a butterfly.
And everybody was waiting for Kingpin to make his debut on the Netflix shows, and when he did, Vincent D'Onofrio brought it. Like, the dude is just perfect as Kingpin, and he's got that deep voice and those pauses, those long pauses in between. He's so cynical.
In prison, there's only room for one Kingpin.
I think Kingpin would have made the perfect, Marvel bad guy for, everything to be centered around in this new era of Marvel, but, they have different ideas. But Kingpin, just having him with the Daredevil and the Punisher and the whole relationship with Echo, it was just so freaking good to see it up on screen, and I love the way he talks. It's just so cool. At number 6, we have the Joker, Jack Nicholson from Batman 1989.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
I love Jack Nicholson's Joker because it was so funny but so crude. That whole transformation, how he becomes the Joker, and the way they mixed it with Prince's music, and he was this fun party animal. It was, I mean, look at it now and it's kind of funny, but it was so cool. I just loved I loved his evil villain Joker. It was just perfect.
Where is the Batman? He's at home, washing his tights.
I mean, if you saw my previous videos, I saw this movie quite a bit at the movie theater, and I would say, Keaton's Batman was perfect. I loved it, but you couldn't have had this movie without Jack Nicholson's Joker. because he was so twisted but yet so funny, and at the moment he fit that character of the Joker, and he's classic. He goes down as one of the best villains ever. At number 5, we have Agent Smith from the Matrix franchise.
Tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?
6 and 5 was rough for me. I wanted to swap them around because I really do like Nicholson's Joker as a character, probably more than Agent Smith. But Agent Smith made me think, and that's the kind of villain I really, really like.
I must get out of here. I must get free. And in this mind is the key.
Agent Smith, when I saw The Matrix, it made me think. It made me leave the movie theater and go, is this real? Is this reality? Is this Agent Smith going to find me? It's so silly and so stupid, but that's the type of villain he was. And it just was this long-lasting feeling. And you hated him. You just fucking hated him. At number 4, we have a personal favorite and kind of a weird pick, but we have Gemma Telemaro from Sons of Anarchy. Katie Sagal was very good as Gemma, but I think what I loved most about Gemma was how she just played everybody against everybody. She played Jax against Clay. She played Clay against Jax. She played Jax against Tara. That scene there where she kills Tara just made her just the most evil villain. She killed her own daughter-in-law. Like she's just a messed up individual. She'd do anything to keep like the club and the power.
What? The rules got broken. What happens on a run stays on a run. It does not show up and slap me in the goddamn face. That does not happen to me.
There is definitely moments in Sons of Anarchy where Gemma shows a little bit of remorse for the things she did, but then she always turned it back around and did something even more evil. Like she just was such a master at like just manipulating people. She was good. She was definitely one of those memorable villains. Number 3, we have the evil genius, the dictator himself, the questionable pig, Dr. Evil from the Austin Powers series.
Now, Mr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
I know what you're going to say. Dr. Evil is one of the most evil villains, number 3 of all things. Well, it's Dr. Evil. I mean, he made you laugh, but he's Dr. Evil. Come on.
Fire the laser!
Dr. Evil. Oh my gosh. He's not he's not like your typical evil guy. He's the Doctor of Evil. And he made me laugh. It wasn't a guy that made me think, but he had a memorable performance. Mike Myers playing Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil is one of my favorite people. He's just so funny. And he tries to be so bad, and he's just in the wrong time. It's so good. At number 2, we have who I think is the best Joker, Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
The Dark Knight Joker and Heath Ledger's performance make this Joker one of the top. He was so demented and twisted, and he really had to get into this character, and oh my gosh, that pencil scene is one of my favorites.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
I can't even tell you how good Heath Ledger's performance was as the Joker, because everybody knows how good he was. It's such a shame he passed away, because he would have been so good in other roles. But I love this Joker because he's so twisted and so evil, and just he's got these ideas, without Batman he wouldn't even be around. It's a sick, twisted viewpoint on everything, but it definitely makes the Joker. And at number 1, we have the Sith Lord himself, Darth Vader.
I am what you made me.
Darth Vader, when you're a child, he is the thing that nightmares are made of. He is so terrible, so scary, and his breathing is just like so intense. And this hallway scene here, even to this day, still kind of gives me shivers when I see it, with him coming in all dressed in black with all his stormtroopers behind him, and just I think the stormtroopers came out first, but in this picture they're behind him. But it was just so crazy.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
When I was younger, I guess I didn't pay much attention to Darth Vader's story because he was this mysterious figure to me. I recall Obi-Wan talking about how, Anakin fought in the Clone Wars with him, but you didn't really know what had happened, and he became this machine, this horrible machine that was just twisted by the dark side. And I'm a fan of the new stuff. I like the prequels. I like some of the stuff Disney put out. Yes, there's stuff I don't like that Disney put out, but I don't go around hating on it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It is what it is. But if it wasn't for Disney, we wouldn't have this cool Rogue One scene. And I love this scene. This scene is so brutal. Oh my gosh, it's brutal. And Vader himself, he couldn't be trusted. He made deals with Boba Fett and Empire. He made all kinds of deals with people, and he was just ruthless. And now you see him with the Inquisitors, and even the Inquisitors, like he ends up, I think he ends up killing them, if I recall correctly. But he's just a nightmare. He's just a terrible guy who gets redeemed at the end. And you could see the twisting, and how Kylo, they wanted to kind of put him the opposite. But Vader is definitely my number one. He's brutal. So that's my top 10. And yes, you can question Dr. Evil, but he's got a PhD in being evil, so you can't argue. Anyway, I could have added more. There's definitely a lot more, especially now. I mean, the Penguin series is just, I would love to throw that on there, but it's too new, and I was trying to go with people from my past. Anyway, next week I'm going to have another new video out, so go ahead and leave your comments on this video. I love that, and have a good one.